The first OOPS concept is encapsulation. Encapsulation means encapsulation. So, okay, basically wrapping or binding the data and code as a single unit is called encapsulation. So encapsulation, so data means you can define data with the instance variables, right? And code means you will write the code using methods. So where you can find variables and methods? Generally, where you will write variables and methods?
Inside the class.
Inside the class, right? So the class itself is encapsulated. So class inside you have a data and methods, both of them. So, but every class is encapsulated? No, not like that. So there is a certain rules you have to follow if you want to make the class as encapsulated. And so what are the rules? How can you make a class encapsulated? Let's see that. So if encapsulation is there, what is the advantage and where this exactly used in the real world applications? Let's discuss a few of them. Okay. So mainly encapsulation is security purpose people will use in the applications, and you want to save your data, so you want to secure your data. You don't want to show the data to others. Then this encapsulation concept will be implemented. And so the encapsulation is mainly used in the wherever more sensitive data is there, like banking applications. You must apply this encapsulation concept. See, all our bank details is declared, like our bank account number, bank holder name, everything will be declared as a private variables. And methods will be public. So that's the whole concept of encapsulation. So how can you achieve encapsulation is, if you want to achieve encapsulation, you should declare your variables as a private variables and declare the methods as public methods. And the methods are public setter and getter methods. Setter methods means you are setting the data. So you want to set a data to your variable, you will use a setter methods. Once you set, you want to get that data, right? You will use a getter methods. You will use getter methods. So getter methods are return type methods. That means they will return the data. Setter methods are void methods. You're just setting, that's it. So that's the setter methods. The setter and getter methods you must implement in the class to set your variable value. You want to get that somewhere else, then you'll use a getter method. Okay, so that's the setters and getters, and you have to implement as a public methods, and variables are private. That's how you can achieve encapsulation. So mainly in the banking areas, anywhere sensitive data you don't want to show to anybody. But how you will access that data, how you will set that data means through methods. Through methods only, because methods you can call anywhere because of public. You will make a setter method public, getter methods also public. So that public methods you can call anywhere, right? So once you create a object for that class, automatically you can set each variable a different data also. That's the main objective of encapsulation. So if encapsulation is not there, what will happen? If encapsulation is not there, what will happen? So if encapsulation is not there, so it's no, there is no control. So let's see that how, what will happen now. I'll show you with an example. If encapsulation is not there, what will happen? If encapsulation is applied, so what is the result? We'll see both of them. Okay. So one thing I want to give before giving a so practicals on the program. If you give encapsulation for the class, there is a tight control. So the user can control the logic, everything in the methods. And if the other people giving a wrong data also, you can tell that, okay, you should not give this data, and you will assign so default values. So that you can control if you apply in encapsulation. If you don't apply, people will give their own data. So then it's not a valid points. So that I'm going to show you here, and we'll see that. Okay, so we'll see quickly. Let me create one. So here is the example. Examples are there, and we'll see that. So I'm taking one album class, one stock keeper class. So album is going to have a name, artist, price, number of copies, 4 variables, and a few methods. And again, stock keeper mainly will manage the albums, right? He will manage the albums, and he will give his own data while calling this album, because in the stock keeper class will write a manage album so method. That manage album method is going to have some parameters like album name, artist, price, number of copies. These are all parameters will be there. That parameter values I will assign to the album class variables. So then what will happen? Whatever you give data, that will go and store there in the album class variables. So how that will be done? Let's see that. Okay, so let me create. So first album class. Okay. Album class. So just a normal class we're creating. We don't want anything on this album class. We'll just declare some variables, all the variables, these variables, and few methods. Okay. That's it. See, we are just declaring instance variables, and we are we have created a few methods. Okay, so that's it. So I'm not doing extra anything here. So that's one. And stock keeper class. Create a stock keeper. Stock keeper class, and take main method also. Because he is the one who manages the albums. So I'll just create a public string name. And so I'm going to create one parameterized constructor. So basically, how you will create a constructor is whatever the class name is there, that's a constructor name. And so I'm going to give this. string name. So this dot name equal to name. So that's the name we are assigning when you create object for this constructor. So you will give the value here. So that value it will store here. Okay, so that's the main. Another one, manage album method. I'm going to create public void manage album. Manage album. So I want album object here, albovj, and string, so album name, right? So if you see here, so these parameters one by one I'm calling. But that parameters I'm going to this local. Parameters are going to be local to this manage album method. So string artist. So double price and int number of copies. Okay. But not necessarily you have to give same value, instance variable name, and that one you don't need to give same. If you want, you can give a different values also. So these names you can give different. So basically now I want to assign. So how can you call album class instance variables in this class? How can you call album class instance variables here?
AL object reference dot name.
This variable, this ALB OBJ is the object reference. That object reference dot
Name.
So name equal to assign that name to this name. Okay, that name. So now what we are doing? Anybody got this? Anybody understand this? What we are doing? This local parameter value I'm assigning to album class instance variable. Okay, are we clear? Okay, so next I am assigning this artist value. When you call this method, you will give these values one by one, right? So I'm assigning that artist there. So this value, see, I told you assignment operator purpose, I told you. Right side value will go and store in this left side variable. Left side variable now albobj dot artist is a album class instance variable. So there it will store this value. albobj dot price equal to price. So albobj dot, so number of copies equal to number of copies. So all are done, right? All are done now. Now, if you want to know, so this is managed by the stockkeeper. So if you want to get that, that also you can print. We have already the complete code here. And here we have just, I'm just printing all of them. Just take it up. Okay. Album managed by. So what is this keyword? This dot name. Here also name is there. Here also name is there. What is this? This one, what is this one? Anybody have idea? Okay. So let me give you this. This one is the album class name. But this dot name means it will represent always current class objects. This will refer, it's a reference variable for current class objects. So what you will define, what is mean by this? If anybody asks you, you tell this is a reference variable which refers to current class objects. Current class objects means current class instance variables, current class constructor, current class instance methods. If you want to refer, you will use this keyword. So now this dot name is which will it will refer?
Stockkeeper.
Stockkeeper name instance variable will refer, not the album one. So anywhere you remember, current class means this is the current class, that current class instance variable. So that's what this dot name is, current class instance variable. Here name is instance variable, right? So that instance variable it will refer. Then, so then I'm printing all the values. Okay. So this is the simple method. Now you need to call this method, right? You need to call this method. So you need to create object for the stockkeeper. Create. So object for the stockkeeper class. So this class, we call this class. See, what is the value of this? How can you give object reference value? What is object reference value? I think you're missing the basics completely.
We have to give this album reference.
Album reference you have given that the object reference variable, this one. But this value you have to give, right? What is that value? How can you give that value? What is the value generally? What is this object reference value?
So it's a data type we have to give.
So their value is this one, right? What is this value? Where you will get this value?
Yes. SKOP, OBJ, we have to give.
Already you declared a variable, madam. Here, this part is done there. This part is done. How can you get this value? That value is equal to
new album.
New album. That's the value, right? Object reference, any object reference value, new, and the constructor. So the name, I'm going to give album name. Let me get album name. So, okay, I need to give this guy in. So because parameterized constructor, right? The parameterized constructor, not here. So sorry, this one is a parameterized constructor I have to give. So while calling the method, you have to give. While calling the method, you have to give all the variable values. So now I'm giving this value, okay? This is the John D string, this one. Now when you call the method, manage album. Now first, this value is new album. See the method parameters I am passing. Parameterized construct, how you will call? While calling the method, you have to give parameter values, right? That I am giving. ALBOBJ value is new album. Next. So this I'll give you. So these values. So these are the values. Let me give you all these values. I'll tell you. Okay. So what we are doing? The album name is Slippery When Wet. And who is the artist? Bon Jovi. And what is the price? Minus 1000.00. What is the number of copies? Minus 50. So is this a valid data? Is this a valid data? Price is going to be a negative value. Number of copies is going to be a negative.
No.
But so there is no negative number, right? So album number of copies should not be a negative. Price also should not be a negative value. But there is no control for album class. But this guy is giving his own data. How can we control? So to control the data, so we need to develop an encapsulated class so that everything will be under this class control. So for that, what you need to do, this is the problem. So what is the problem? There is no control. So for album class, there is no control, and this guy is giving his own data for the album managing variable values. So that is not going to work out. So that's why to control that data, so what you can do, implement the encapsulation. Now this is without encapsulation. So encapsulation means what I told you. You have to make all the variables
Private.
Wait.
to make all the variables as a private. So now, if you make private, you cannot access variables, right? Outside the class. You cannot access, right? But stockkeeper we call directly variables. Now see what is happening here. See, you got errors here. You got errors here. Why? There is no accessibility. That is the reason. See, change visibility. Album.name is not visible. Why it is not visible? Because we made a private. Now, each variable, you create a one setter method, one getter method. You want me to write, or we can generate through Eclipse, setters and getters. So at least I will generate for this manually, I will write. Remaining we will generate through Eclipse. Both I'll show you, okay, how to write. So remember always how to generate the setters and getters for instance variables is every variable has one setter method, one getter method. Both are different methods. Setter methods are used for setting this variable value. Getter methods are used for getting this set value. So it will be there in the memory, right? That time you can get it with the getter method. But you want to set a different values, you can call setter method. Because this variable directly you cannot call. Only methods are public. That's why you can call them anywhere. So let me write one setter method for the name public void. Always remember setter methods are void type. Your method name starts with a set keyword and this variable name. So what is the variable name? Name, set name, string name, and this dot name equal to name. So why I have written this dot name? See, this local parameter name, instance variable name, both are same. Such cases, if you don't write this, now what will happen? How do you know in this which one is the parameter and which one is the instance variable? How can you decide that? There is a confusion, right? To solve that confusion, whichever variable before you put this keyword, that will represent the instance variable. Now this is the instance variable and right side one is the parameter name. Now that means when you call this method, you will give the value. That value you are storing in the instance variable. So that means your setter methods are used for setting the data to instance variables. Are we clear? Public. And what type of getter methods are return type? What type of data is this one? String. So same data it will return to you. String. So your getter method starts with a get keyword, get name. And so getter methods are going to be written, right? Return name. So this is how we can generate the setters and getters. Setters and getters. So let's see, I'll generate the setters, getters for this through Eclipse. So first one, if you know, remaining you can use the Eclipse feature also. Just select the variables and right click. So you can see source, generate getters and setters, and select all. You can do select all. Okay, where you want to insert this method, I'll write it after getter method. Okay, after getter method. Insert point is after get name method. After all the methods will be going to inserted here in the 15th line. See that? See, all are inserted. So set artist, get artist. Set price, get price. Set number of copies, get number of. So we are getting problem where price, right? Where is setting the price, there is a problem. So what we need to control, negative should not be given. Okay. If price is greater than 0, then you can set whatever the price you are giving, that you can set to instance variable. If not, else what you need to do, this dot price you should set to 0.0. This is how you can write a logic and you can control. Same here also. If number of copies so is greater than 0, okay, you can write that also. If number of copies same, okay, greater than 0, and this value else, and number of copies is going to be 0. Okay, so that's the how you can okay. So this is the how you can control the data and you can generate the setters and getters. You generate and then you can call. Now you need to call these public setter and getter methods wherever you want outside of the class. Because variables are private, right? You cannot call. So that's why you're getting errors here. Now you remove all these things. So how can you do that? So if you want to set the name, you have a set name method and name. So you call all the methods. That's it. So set artist. So and give the parameter value artist. You're giving a method parameter value you're passing. Method parameter value you're passing. So same way set price, right? Set price. So price. And same way here. Set number of copies and number of copies. Okay. So this is how we can see that. And here also, so I want to get this name. You can generate a getter method. That getter method is public string get name So return name. So this get name is going to get the stock keeper class get name, but you have to call with a this keyword. Otherwise, it doesn't know, right? So now you want a name of the album. So what is the method you need to call to get the name of the album? Get name. To get the artist, what do you need to do? Get
Artist.
Get artist. So get price. That's it. See, we are calling only methods. And with the methods, you are setting the value for that album class name, album class artist, album class price, number of copies. You are setting with a setter methods, and you are getting with a getter methods. So that's the main logic in the encapsulation process. Anywhere, this is the process. So these are called setters and getters. You will use in the encapsulated classes. So now you see, even though if you give a negative value, it won't print negative because we controlled here. We controlled very nicely here. So if it is false, it will come to here, right? This will execute. If it is a false, it will come and execute else block. So that is what it is going to happen now. And here, instead of this dot name, you can call this dot get name, right? You can see I'm going to call get name. So this dot get name, LBOB is a dot get name. So what is the difference here?
This will refers to the current class.
This
It refers to the album class.
album class name method you are calling. Album class get name method you are calling. Here this dot get name means you are calling this current class get name instance method you are calling. How can you call current class instance method? This dot get name method. If you have a same method in the two classes, you want to refer current class, then what you need to prefix with before this method? This keyword. If you write this dot get name, it will refer always current class instance method. So, right? Are you clear on that? The get keyword. So this, see that your 0 coming, 0.0 and 0. Okay. Is it clear? Any doubts? That's the advantage of encapsulation. You can see that all this. So we made this encapsulated class, and that's how we can get the values. See, advantage of encapsulation, we can make a class read only or write only. For read only class, we should provide only getter methods, because you are not setting the value, right? Because setting the means you are updating the variable values, right? For write only class, you should provide only setter methods. So if you want to get, you can write the getter methods also. You can control the data. So we can control the data by providing logic inside the setter methods. Just like how we restricted a stock keeper to provide a negative values. So that's how you can write a logic in the setter methods. Because where you're setting, there only you can control the data. So data hiding. So mainly other classes cannot access private members, right? You are accessing only methods, not the variables. Through methods, you are setting your variable value. Through methods only you are setting, not directly. So that's the data hiding you can achieve. So these are some of the real-time examples. Let's take a pen. So pen is one of the encapsulated thing. So pen inside you have a refill and so many things, right? That is surrounded by some layer. So it is protected completely. So that's the one of the school bag. School bag inside you have so many, right? Books, pens, and everything. So these are the variables and the methods, whatever it is. So, and the capsules, the medical capsule also, it follows the encapsulation process. So real-time example is one Gmail, Yahoo, all this. When you log into the, your any of those things, and internally, it process the encapsulation process while getting the username passwords. And the main thing is the bank accounts. I already mentioned that. All your, bank details you don't want to reveal to others, right? You don't like that. Then how can you control that? So to control that, you have to make your variables as a private so that nobody can see that. And you can give the methods, and only for a particular card holder, he can see his own data or account numbers, net banking or anything. So only you can have a privilege and you can access.